Occurred the 22nd of January 2003, 21 hours 16 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Crawfordsville, in USA. Shape: unknown. Duration: 26 minutes. No of observers. 1 characteristics: lights on object. For 26 minutes I observed what appeared to be a bell with 4 lights while traveling west on Interstate 74. I first noticed these lights, one above 3 other lights below it. The light seemed to be on one object about 2 miles northwest of me and was traveling at a speed a bit less than mine. I was driving about 65. This was at mile marker 41 at 2116. I observed these pretty much continious to mile marker 29. At that time the lights were directly north of me and began traveling south as I could see them in the upper third of my passenger side window. This is when I could see a dark form between the top light and the lower 3 lights. It seemed to be a bell shape. It continued toward my truck until it was close enough that I could not see it out my window, like it was passing over me, but I looked and never spotted it to the south or behind me. As I drove on to the west about 3 miles later I noticed another set of lights similar to the first set. These were also to the north and seemed to be traveling away to the northwest. They were also traveling slowly. I observed them for about 2 minutes. Then they seemed to reverse their direction of travel, not turning around, more like backing up. When these lights got like, from judging from the tree lines in the distance, I say about a half mile north of me and less than 1,000 feet off the ground, all their lights went out for a second or again too. Then about where the 3 bottom lights had been there was a sequence of 50 or 6 strobe lights, from left to right, twice, then 1 bright flash from the left end and right end lights. Then nothing, it just wasn't there.
Occurred the 15th of April 2004, 14 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Crawfordville, in USA. Shape: disk. Duration: 10 seconds. No of observers. 1 cigar-shaped craft in Indiana. I was driving east on I-74. My attention was caught by group of birds flying. As I looked at the birds, I noticed a bright white shape beyond them. It was cigar-shaped and moving slowly from my right to left. It was about the size of my thumb with my arm extended. After about 5 seconds, the left edge tilted downward slightly. Then the craft rotated, bringing the forward edge down and the rear edge up. This gave me a downward view at it. At this point it took on a circular shape. It then accelerated up and away from me at an incredible rate. I am a 45-year-old truck driver and served 4.5 years on submarines in the U.S. Navy.
Occurred the 1st of November 2010, 12 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Crawfordsville, in USA. Shape: triangle. Duration: week and a half. No of observers. 1 characteristics: lights on object, aura or haze around object, aircraft nearby. Numerous sightings day after day right over my house. I live just about 1 mile west of Crawfordsville, Indiana. Starting about a week and a half ago I started seeing these craft over our house. They are extremely hard to see and seem to have the ability to make themselves look like the background behind them. Occasionally I can see a faint small blue-green light on them. I can see a vapor coming off of them, and sometimes when they move I can see very faint white lights. The military obviously knows they are up there, because they are constantly flying right through the area where they are. If your organization has any connections with investigators, they need to come out here and see this for themselves.
Occurred the 18th of June 2012, 23 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Crawfordsville, in USA. Shape: light. Duration: 5 minutes. No of observers. 113 red lights travel same path over Wabash College in Crawfordsville, Indiana. I was sitting on my front porch and looked up into the sky above Wabash College and thought I saw a plane. Just looked like the red light but without the blinker. About 10 seconds later, another followed. And then another. And then another. 13 in all from the time I started counting, all following the same path. No sound of plane, jet engines, and 3 simply disappeared, although they could have merely gone behind a cloud as it was partly cloudy that night.
Occurred, the 24th of August 2022, 23 hours 34 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Crawfordsville, IN, USA. Location details, County Road S700W, 7 miles south of Crawfordsville, Indiana. Indiana. Shape, cross duration, 5 minutes. No of observers. 1 characteristics, lights on object, aura or haze around object. Left a trail was taking nighttime pictures of the illuminated sky over Crawfordsville, Indiana. Upon reviewing pictures, noticed multiple UFOs. Took pictures of the illuminated sky over Crawfordsville, Indiana from the south on County Road S700W near Alamo, Indiana. While reviewing pictures, I noticed lights in the clouds forming a pyramid. At first I thought they were stars, but the low dense cloud cover would have made it impossible for stars to shine through the cloud cover. I then noticed almost at the tree line a cubed craft with wings forming across with some kind of atmospheric disturbance behind it. The craft in question would have been traveling south to north. A total of 12 craft were in the immediate vicinity, with 11 of them appearing as orbs in the nighttime sky.
Occurred, the 22nd of June 1982, 8 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, New Ross, IN, USA. Shape, other duration, approximately 5 minutes. No of observers. 3 characteristics, lights on object, spherical on one side, diamond on the other with the axis of rotation along the flat diamond side. Mother of 2, ages 8 and 4, was leaving for piano lessons on this Tuesday morning. All 3 of them witnessed it. This is a friend posting this for the mother. The object was metallic and silvery, and on one side it was spherical, and the back side was flat and in the shape of a diamond. The object was rotating on an axis that went through the center of the diamond side. The rate of rotation was estimated at 1 revolution per 45 to 60 seconds. Initially the object was moving away from their vehicle. It went a distance away, and then the direction of its rotation changed, and began to move back towards them. Soon thereafter, the son, age 4, became very upset by its coming to them, and then the object just disappeared. No sound or anything. On the flat diamond side of the object there was a black, amorphous pattern around its center. In the center of this side was a steady blue light. The total viewing time was about 5 minutes. After the object was gone, all 3 individuals went back inside the house and in separate rooms drew what they thought they saw. The drawings agreed with each other. The father was disbelieving, and disheartedly, the mother ended up throwing the sketches away. The 8-year-old daughter still remembers seeing the object, but doesn't think much about it. The mother still thinks often about it. Their area at the time used to have a lot of air traffic, but there was none at the time. Size of the object was estimated to be about the size of the bubble of a small helicopter.
Possible vocalizations heard near Shade State Park. Year 2009. Season, summer month, July. State, Indiana. County, Montgomery County. Location details, Interstate 74 runs from Indianapolis. Head west to the Crawfordsville exit and head south. Take Highway 47 to 234 and head west about 5 miles and you will see the shade sign. Nearest town, Waveland, Indiana. Nearest road, State Highway 234. Observed. The first incident was in February of 2009 after a snow. Me and my daughter, who was 5 at the time, went to Shade State Park to play. I was goofing around and making tree knocks every 15 minutes or so. I did not expect anything, but anytime I'm in the woods I try. We were making our way back to the truck and were within 500 yards when I made another set of knocks, which was followed almost immediately by a very loud and powerful growl. My daughter immediately looked at me and said, "What is that, Dad?" Having my 5-year-old with me made me just want to get her to the truck ASAP. The power and intensity was really something. It reminded me of passing a snowplow on the road, just the power of it. The following summer a couple of things happened I think are related. In June, me and my buddy who liked to whitewater kayak went to the Shades, Pine Hills area to kayak due to some heavy rains and flooding, which in Indiana is the only good runs we get. That day, while standing along Sugar Creek at our buddy's cottage, which is across from the spot Indian Creek enters Sugar Creek, we were debating how safe Indian Creek would be to run when for some reason a deer jumped into the water and tried to swim across. It did not make it and got sucked under a log jam under the covered bridge. That was our sign, and we decided tomorrow would be a better idea. We met around 10:30 the next day and kayaked Indian Creek, which was still running fast but safer. As we was leaving Indian Creek and entering Sugar Creek at the spot we were at the day before, except on the other side, I noticed to my left along the cliff face was a stack of rocks about 1.5 feet tall stacked right on top of each other. What was odd was this area was still quite flooded and the area was completely underwater the day before. There is no person in their right mind that would have been in that spot overnight or that morning. My last incident was in July 2009. I was catfishing about 1 a.m. at Lake Waveland, about 1 to 2 miles from the Shades and Pine Hills area. I heard very clearly 3 short howls coming from the area around Shades. And the whole time this thing was howling, every coyote in the area was going nuts. As soon as it stopped, everything went silent. It was really cool. I pretty much knew at that point for once and for all that Sasquatch is a real and living creature. Very cool. I got online when got home and found an identical sound. The Columbiana County, Ohio howls are exactly what I heard.
Also noticed, the rock stack was odd because there is no access to the spot it was, and it was surrounded by a cliff on one side and pretty nasty floodwaters around the rest. It was just a small point that had poked up out of the water as it started coming down. No way a person made it, no way. Other witnesses. The growl was me and my daughter. She was making snow angels and I was knocking on a tree. Catfishing was me and my buddy on his boat. The rock stack was while me and a buddy kayaking. Other stories. Yes, this past week my mom called. Her and dad had taken the Yorkie out to Shades for a walk. They noticed right away that there were not the usual bunch of birds and critters about. Also, while they were walking, at least 2 animals were whooping back and forth. We listened to the Sierra whoops and that was very close to what they heard. Time and conditions, summer and winter. The rocks were after a pretty nasty flood in June. The howls were 1 a.m. in July. The growl was midday after a descent snow in February. Environment. The most notable things are this area consists of Shades, Pine Hills, Lake Waveland, and 10 miles south Turkey Run State Parks. Sugar Creek, which is a large creek, runs through the area to the Wabash River, which runs down to the Ohio. The area is very rural and undeveloped. Follow-up investigation report by BFRO investigator Eric Lester. After speaking with the witness, the following details can be added. The growl heard by the witness and his daughter was possibly within 100 yards, and lasted about 6 seconds. They were hiking on a trail in Shades State Park that runs to Sugar Creek, then loops back to the parking lot. The stack of rocks was made up of 4 rounded river rocks. The witness was emphatic that nobody could have been to that spot during the previous day to do anything like that, as the water had receded sometime during the night to expose this area. If the rocks were stacked previously, it is probable they would have collapsed due to the strong current. There was a total of 3 howls, each lasting 3 to 4 seconds each, with a few seconds between howls. Coyotes would join in halfway through each howl, then all would stop at nearly the same time. They originated from the north, towards Shades State Park. Shades State Park is bordered by Turkey Run State Park to the southwest, and Pine Hills Nature Preserve to the east. Sugar Creek runs through both state parks, eventually flowing into the Wabash River to the west. Though this is the first report from Shades State Park, 2 reports from Turkey Run State Park are included in the BFRO's database.